Hello there, wherever you are. I'm Joseph Bate, and you're watching Vision TV online. And of course, thank you very much for watching, for those comments that you send. And please keep watching. Now, this is a show about music, Uganda's music, a music review. And the news is Fast SSR Studio in Uganda, probably Eastern Central Africa. Yeah. And Andrew Ahuura, the managing director, is the man I'm talking with. But who is he? I don't know who he is. Out of the blue, then SSL Studio, the first one, and then the CRISPR, then Morgan Heritage. Who the hell is this man that has done all that? Who is he? Andrew, tell me about yourself. Who are you? Where did you start music? How did you come? Did you want to become a music producer? Was that your first initial dream?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll just tell you this about myself.
In 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes. Yeah. No, I'll keep it short.
Okay.
Growing up, about 2 months old, to make me keep quiet, they just had to play a cassette. I'm told.
That's what you...
Yes, I'm told. To make me keep quiet, because I used to cry a lot. Oh. And just to keep me quiet, they just played a cassette, and I would keep quiet. Take it off, I would start to cry again. So, and my dad and mom came from a music. My dad was in a band. Okay. He used to play. By the way, he has never told me the band that he was in, but he was in a band. Okay. And then rhythm. He calls it rhythm, but acoustic guitar. Acoustic guitar. But you see, the way they used to play it those days was more of picking. Okay. Yeah, so they called it rhythm. And then mom was also in a choir. Okay. She used to play the tambourine. And also she was learning. Actually, they got to know each other from dad met mom when they were teaching her how to play the guitar. Okay. And they fell in love, and that's the story. That's the story, yeah. Yeah, anyway, so I grew up just in that music family. Okay. My brothers also are very much fond of music. So we grew up playing. I grew up in church. I started playing in church, All Saints Cathedral. To this day, that's where I minister and play. Then also...
You play what?
The keyboard.
The keyboard.
I play the keyboard. Actually, I grew up playing the keyboard. My brothers introduced me to playing keyboard at about 6 years. I joined playing in church live when I was in, I think, P7. Okay. I started playing the main church in P7. And I've always had a dream of having a big studio. And in fact, where we are, I don't think we are yet there. There is a bigger dream. So we kept on building that slowly by slowly. And like, for example, in my S2, I think it was in S2, that's when the Quad A name came up.
S2.
In S2.
Okay.
We came up with the name Quad A, and from there it has never left. And slowly by slowly we said, so after I did my school finished, I graduated with IT. I did information science and IT. And as soon as I finished school, campus, I said, I'm not going in employment. This is where I'm going. So I still practice my IT. On the side, we do websites and designing and all that, programming. But then the studio was where the heart is. And, you know, it's very important to have a fulfilled life, a purpose-driven life. Because at the end of it, I felt fulfilled that I wasn't doing something that I had to do, but I was doing something I loved to do. So I started recording music, small gigs, learning how. And there was a gentleman called Victor Avasi who Victor Orintho, sorry. Victor Orintho. You have heard of Victor Orintho?
Yeah.
Yes. Victor Orintho introduced me to recording, what is recording, So I recorded my first artist, and it was amazing. He was impressed, and he used to take care of me. He mentored me and brought me up. So I said, let me now drive. That was in, I think, S2, I think. Still.
Which year was that now?
That was in, I think, 2001. 2001.
S2?
Yes.
2001?
Yes. Then I slowly began to get acquainted with arts. Also did some studies, went online, signed up, paid for them, got certificates, started also learning with experience, putting different things together. And at the end of the day, the experience started to grow.
Okay.
And, well, this is where we are now.
Can you tell me some of the artists that you have recorded? Some of their works?
I've worked with, been privileged to work with Isaiah Katumwa, who we're currently working on his other album, okay. But it's a secret. Don't. His other album. Then we have also worked with Irene Intale. These are now did their live recordings. Okay. We have worked with a group called Worship Harvest. We've also worked with a group called Sauti Africa. Okay. I don't know if you've heard of Sauti Africa. Then we have also
about them a couple of weeks, a couple of days ago.
Yes, Sauti Africa. They've actually released another song recently. Then we've also been privileged to work with Uganda Boys. We did some work, live recordings for Uganda Boys and also front of house. Okay. Then we also worked with, also recorded Morgan Heritage. There are quite many. I can't stipulate more, but those are some of the few that can come off head. Yeah.
So what is the, can you explain to me, that's the last question, what's a good song?
A good song is a song that once it's played, you don't need to convince someone that it's a good song. What
song is a song, once it's played, you don't need to convince someone that
it's a good song, yes. Once you play a song and people love it, they just fall in love. They don't need to say, you don't need to, yes, push it down their throat that this is a good song. Now, there are many qualities. People are looking for different things. Sometimes people have different seasons in life. Sometimes people are depressed. So a good song at that point could be a song that touches them when they're depressed, to them. So we make music for people. But sometimes we get confused whether to stick for, because sometimes people can limit you, can put you in a box. Okay. But until you dare to try maybe another genre and try out something different, you can jump out of that shell. But I believe a good song is a song, once you play it, you don't need to tell this is a good song. You don't need.
Like I played you Destiny and you said,
yes, this is a good song. Yes, that was a, I mean, you did not need to come here and say, no, let me, there's a good song here. You just said, let me play for you this good song. I mean, someone listens to the quality of the different instruments put together and say this was put together, was mixed well, it sounds good, it's mastered well. That's a good song.
That's a good song.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a good song from Andrew Ahuura, House of Fast SSL Studio in the region. And I'm signing out saying goodbye. Let's meet again next time.